DJ is still bumping, and we got 6 teams left dancing. Top-seeded Villanova blew the roof off this party early, while the reigning tourney champs conjured up more magic in the Mecca. But this club will be popping all night with 4 more teams set to take the stage. First, we got the boys from Indy taking on Queen City's finest. Then it's that East Coast funk versus the Midwest shuffle. Hey DJ, drop that beat one more time. Let's raise the roof for the Big East Ballers on FS1.
FS1 College Hoops Tip-Off is sponsored by the Lincoln Motor Company. 2 teams that put themselves in the Big East semifinal VIP suite. 2 more set to join them tonight live from the Garden. It's your 7 versus 2 matchup. The Butler Bulldogs at 23-7 set to take on the Xavier Musketeers. The Bulldogs already with 2 victories over the Musketeers this season. We welcome you once again inside the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. Rob Stone, Steve Lavin, Donnie Marshall with you. 2 games tonight featuring 4 teams that by all appearances are destined for the NCAA tournament. Let's start with our first quarterfinal of the night. Xavier, Butler, and the Musketeers have a bona fide superstar in 2-time first-team all-conference player Trevon Bluiett. But Mr. Bluiett coming in off one of those odd performances last night.
I think you have to stress the positives. 0 points in the first half, but 17 in one half. So you tell him, listen, all you need to do is go out, be aggressive. Chris Mack is going to run plenty of plays for him. He's going to get his shots. They just have to be high-quality shots. And you know his teammates, they understand as well. We got to get him going early.
Yeah, I like the way they used Bluiett at the 4 position from the elbows. Yeah. I think Mikura has to have a big game as well. And also critical will be the way Butler attacks Xavier's zone. They're going to have to be purposeful with their bounce, move that zone some. The Musketeers give a number of different looks. Butler is built to attack zones because they're a pass-first team, and they shoot the ball well from distance. A tough team to press, but Xavier got some experience, which can help with Mikura.
Here's a Butler defensive number, 17-0 this season when they hold the opposition to 70 or less, but they're looking for their first ever win here at the Big East tournament. Chris Holtman named Big East Coach of the Year just a couple of days ago. Here he is earlier with Lisa Byington.
Rob, thank you very much. Coach, it's time to hit the reset button from that loss in the regular season finale. What's your gauge maybe on the pulse of this team and the readiness of this team heading into tonight?
You know, I think we're ready. Obviously, we're playing a really good team in Xavier. It's tournament time. Everybody's kind of trying to peak at the right time. We've played very well in the last month and a half. Hopefully we can play well here. You
have swept Xavier in the regular season, but Xavier is a team that's constantly changing with their personnel. The team that you have to face tonight, what's the biggest challenge?
Rebounding. I think they're a terrific rebounding team. They're very physical. They've obviously got talented players in Bluiett and Mikura, and they've had the addition of some freshmen that have really helped them. So, you know, we were fortunate to win at their place a week and a half ago. Hopefully we can play hard and play together and see what happens.
I know obviously winning the championship is the motivation, but how much have you used or played the fact that no one on your roster has won a Big East tournament game? You know, we've talked about it. I don't think there's any reason to kind of shy away from it. It's not like we've been in the league for 15 years. It's just our 4th year. But I think we've, you know, we'll try to learn from past experiences. Sometimes we played well and lost. Other times we played poorly. Right now, we're just really focused on trying to play well. You mentioned playing well in the month of February, and that's when you made the switch, Keelan Martin, from a starter to off the bench. What'd you learn from him and the way he responded to that challenge through that stretch? What I think I already knew, and that is he wants to be coached, and he wants to be challenged. That's who he is as a young man. We're fortunate we have a lot of guys on our roster that want that. He's responded well. I think he's comfortable coming off the bench. It gives him a chance to kind of sit back and take stock of the game a little bit, and I think that helps him. So he's important for us, as are the other guys. We're fortunate that we have, you know, probably 8 guys that could start at various times for us. Thank you for the time, as always. Butler making its debut in the tournament tonight. Rob?
All right, Lisa, thank you. He mentioned Martin. He's been on a tear the last 5 games. As we take a look at your updated Big East tournament bracket earlier tonight, Villanova with the most points they've scored in more than a decade. They absolutely mauled St. John's. They've got a little 1v5 showdown coming your way tomorrow night here on FS1 as they take on Seton Hall. We're going to fill out the bottom half of that semifinal bracket tonight. Quarterfinal number 1 of the night session is coming up next. Your 2 seed Butler set to take on your 7 seed Xavier. Now the Musketeers, 4th straight 20-win season. We're looking at the positives right here, Donnie Marshall. 9-9 in conference play. They really struggled after that injury to Edmund Sumner. 3 wins since February 4th. All of them have come courtesy of DePaul. So read into that what you will. A much stiffer challenge tonight.
I think you have to have just forget about what happened yesterday, even an hour ago with your Xavier. This could be an emotional building for them. This is where the Sumner issue happened, the torn ACL. Actually, on the Butler end, where their bench is tonight. So you have to play basketball. You can't think about that. You can't listen to anybody else. What's important is what's happening between these 4 lines for Xavier tonight.
Yeah, the fact that Mikura and Bluiett, as we saw last night in the second half, they understand what it takes to step up, elevate their level of play to help their team's cause. You depend on your leaders who've been to the NCAA tournament, as Mikura and Bluiett have been.
As for Butler in the preseason, they were picked to finish 6th. They were a strong number 2, and they had Villanova's number through the course of the regular season. Swept Villanova. We take a look at their starting lineups coming in right now, and Andrew Travis was a first-team All-Big East performer.
Well, this is a different Butler team in terms of their overall speed and quickness. Baldwin, Savage, Woodson. We know about Keelan Martin, the athleticism, the foot speed, the versatility that speed, athleticism, and quickness gives Coach Holtman, both defensively when they need to extend, but also offensively. They can play at a quicker pace and yet still stay attached to the Butler way.
Right now, Butler on track for a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. Xavier trying to confirm their spot there again. We'll see at halftime. Now we go courtside. Gus Johnson, Bill Raftery. Gents.
All right, Stoner, thank you very much. And we are ready for our first game of the night session as Butler, the number 2 seed, ready to do battle with Xavier. Now, Butler beat Xavier twice during the regular season. What are we expecting to see today?
I think the guys are right. You got to put it away and start over. Obviously, the zone lately of Xavier has been devastating. But you know how I respect age. Andrew Travis, the point forward, the point center. He's going to have to make a lot of good decisions to get everybody else involved, particularly against that zone. All right, here are the starting lineups brought to you by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Coach, what do you see? And I'm going to have you in your seat. And as Gooden soars big time. He really is learning how to play that point position. Mikura as well. And on the other side, that 3-guard tandem, they make threes from deep. Baldwin setting them up. Savage and Woodson as well. And time for the Keys to Success, sponsored by SoFi, offering smart solutions to help you reach your financial goals. I think you wrote this one up for me because Bluiett, when he is really good, this is a different Xavier team. And Kamar and his friends on the perimeter doing a job, pushing the ball and getting some open looks. Chris Mack, 47 years old, and his team terrific yesterday, especially in the second half. Beating DePaul 72-60. Trevon Bluiett scored all 17 of his points in the second half. His assistants, Travis Steele, Luke Murray, Mike Pegues. Chris Holtman, 45 years old, and he is the Big East Coach of the Year. And he said on being named Big East Coach of the Year yesterday in a conference with teams and coaches of this stature, I can't begin to tell you how honored I am. I have so much respect for the coaches in this conference. And your officials, Mike Stevens, Jeff Clark, Brent Hampton. This is a series that goes all the way back to their days in the Horizon League and Atlantic 10. Xavier leads it 37-20, although Butler won both regular season games, as we mentioned, this year. And Gus, the coaches in the league respect Chris, but one add-on. Chris Mack is not very happy with you because of you saying his wife, Christy, was a better player. Well, she was.
score more points. Over 1,200 points. Here we go. Gaston and Weidman in the circle. Butler, Xavier. And we're underway from the world's most famous arena, in the Madison Square Garden.
The Musketeers. Gus Johnson, go! Little man.
Savage. Across the lane, jump hook, right hand, good.
How about that little post up, boy? That is a great weapon when a perimeter guy can load it up deep.
Ethan Savage, a transfer from George Washington.
Well, he was banged up a little, according to Chris Holtman this past week in practice. Very active Mikura.
Mikura curling down the lane, and he hits his first shot of the game. I tell you what, this kid knows how to play the game of basketball.
Yeah, you know, he had a great performance last night. It was really solid and tremendous effort to boot.
13 points for Mikura, 6 assists, 3 rebounds in 36 minutes. And he put a couple of passes right in the hands of Gooden for easy layups. Baldwin on the baseline, the freshman from Georgia.
Well, I mean, just sound, doesn't make many mistakes.
Long jump shot. That one a brick by Woodson.
You mentioned Mikura and how well he played the other night. His ability to use these screens is just comes around, smart, knows what shot to deliver, and finishes it big time.
Well, here comes Quentin Gooden, the true freshman from Campbellsville, Kentucky, Taylor High School. 13 points, 3 dimes, 2 rebounds in 36 minutes yesterday. Had a couple of spectacular dunks that got Bill Raftery out of his seat.
That's as high as I've gotten in years.
Here's Gooden.
Nice defense here. Took away the high-low.
Malcolm Bernard drives the jump hook off the glass, and he gets this off bounds.
That is a hard shot. That is difficult. A little kiss on the run.
So what is it about this Butler offense or this Butler team? Their highest scoring players at 16 a game, but they can just beat you when they want to based on their style. What do they do, Coach?
It's team play, basically. Everybody gets involved, move the ball, space properly, take good shots, don't turn it over, make free throws, and don't foul.
8 different players have led Butler in scoring this year. Now Rasheed Gaston on the baseline with Weidman. Should be a great matchup today. 2 big fellas.
And Weidman is a good player. I think they got this right. Michael Stevens on top of it.
So let's take a look at Butler's season recap. 23-7 for Coach Holtman. Big wins over Arizona, Cincinnati, and Nova twice. And with Kansas losing to TCU today, the rumor mill says that Villanova will be the #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament.
Well, they got to take care of business, which won't be easy here this week. Nice pass.
Weidman fouled and will go to the line.
Gooden did a good job, though, reading, helping out. Just got a piece if they give it to him.
So Tyler Weidman, a junior, heading to the free throw line. He's averaging 7 points and 5 rebounds a game, shooting 61% from the field. So when he gets it down low, Coach, it's usually success.
He's not bad. Right around the rim, he's a defender, shot blocker a little bit. But to finish off, you asked me about Butler, it's their defense that causes you to use the clock a lot. So they're in control of it even on the defensive end.
How do you speed them up?
Very hard, as you well know. You get a slow team to run. If they don't want to run, it's near impossible. You just got to take advantage of shots and get control of the game a little bit. Have to force them to catch up. A little X play.
Trevon Bluiett scoreless in the first half yesterday. He finished with 17 points, all coming in that second half. And what really helped him is he went down low, Coach, and started
you were
getting some easy basket.
Well, you love his size down there. I mean, he can really control, particularly a wing or a guard.
Think about Trevon Bluiett. Nice kid off the court, but he's really nasty on the floor.
Sounds familiar here.
I like that. Here's Woodson.
Nice job on Travis trying to dive to the box.
Savage with a step, drives to the basket, has it swiped by Gooden. Outlet pass, Bluiett in transition to the bucket off the glass. No. Rasheed Gasson with a rebound. He can't stick it back in. Snatched down by the freshman. And here comes Baldwin on the rake and take it to the front court. Baseline Woodson.
Nice entry.
And Weidman will dunk it down.
How about that feed? Woodson, you know we can drill it deep. Great entry pass. Strong completion.
Xavier probing down the lane. Bluiett, tough shot, and he's fouled.
I like that, though, when you're struggling to drive the ball. You mentioned post up, but the entry pass, Wyman really presents himself big time. The extra pass and just that little baseline little entry and tells the big guy exactly what to do. Dive, drop step, finish it big time.
So Trevon Bluiett at the free throw line, all Big East first team. He's been hobbled by a tender ankle. And talking to some of the coaches yesterday in the first half, he struggled, didn't score, but they don't know, based on that ankle injury, coach, when that thing is going to loosen up a little bit. It did in the second half.
Now, did you ever hurt your ankle or foot?
Yes.
As a kid? And this sounds crazy. It's a rhythm on a jump shot, and it's all involved. And if that hurts, it hastens it, slows it down, the balance isn't quite there, and your head's fractured a little bit.
6-5, the X-Men with the lead. And here comes the Butler Bulldogs inside. Weidman again, great position, and a foul. No, a travel call.
Jeff Clark on top of him. What a nice entry, though.
Third turnover.
Footsteps, Gus. We've all heard them.
15:54 to play in the first half. Big East basketball from the world's most famous arena on FS1. The Big East Tournament on FS1 is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. First game of the night session here at the Garden. Download the new Fox Sports VR mobile app to live stream today's game in virtual reality presented by Jeep. It's as if you're watching from a VIP suite in the arena. Download the app from iTunes, Google Play, or the Oculus Store. No VR glasses required. 15:54 to play. Xavier up by a penny. Let's go to the third member of our team on the sideline, Lisa Byington.
Gus, don't be surprised to see Xavier use Trevon Bluiett a little bit more at the 4 spot here tonight. It's something that worked. It's a formula that worked in the first round. He had 17 points in the second half in the first round at the 4 spot. 0 points in the first half, primarily being used in the 3 spot. He still prefers to be at the 3. He's still the best shooter, three-point shooter on his team, but his post game, his shot, his face-up game at the elbow has grown. Xavier believes, especially tonight, they might have an advantage offensively using him there. Their biggest question is if he can defend at the 4 spot at the other end, Gus.
It's kids have to buy in, right, Lisa and Gus? I mean, here's a kid to help you win. They may have to do that.
Sean O'Mara in the game now with the ball. Drop step inside, picked it up, and jump ball is a call. The arrow favoring Xavier.
And to finish Lisa's thought, don't forget it's Schrappers he's guarding, so it's not a foot speed thing, but this is just good late on the bounce double. Good activity, good help, and you love it. Your partner grab it down there, Savage. Makura, curl, pretty. Second time, same play, no adjustment.
Defensively, what are you supposed to do on that kind of play? Do you ever go under it, Coach?
I think you shortcut it. I think that's the one thing. And then when they said the other thing is tagging, but that little quick curl is a good read by the cutter. It's a difficult thing to handle. And then they fade as well off it, Gus, if you do shortcut.
And a turnover fourth for Butler. Remember, this team is 6th in the nation in turnovers, only 10 a game. Michigan, Virginia, Notre Dame, Houston, and Princeton, the only teams in the country better. O'Mara.
He gave him some good minutes last night. Look at the nice help. And that's that great defense by Butler.
Inside, Gooden has it swatted out of bounds. Weidman.
He's got a little bit of a blow, but he is a good defender. Lets you get up first. The only thing he did wrong was not keeping him play, but good attention to detail.
Coach, there's only one Bill Russell.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. First time I saw him play was at the Old Garden, by the way.
Wow.
As a college player.
Bluiett in and out as the shot clock expired.
Good hustle.
Xavier with the offensive rebound and new shot clock.
Well, men are really playing much better. It's near St. Patrick's Day, by the way. Maybe that's part of it. Horn set, double high.
Bluiett again, crossover dribble. The kick down. Bernard deep. Baldwin with the rebound. He will push it hard up the floor. Keelan Martin in the game now. He's their leading scorer at 16.
Fowler's got a little hook shot, and Fowler's got a little hook shot inside. Nice help late.
Nate Fowler averages 5.5 points a game, a sophomore from Cincinnati, Moeller High School.
You know, you watch the game, and Travis has got O'Meara on him, and the ball goes inside with the help. I would have taken advantage and exploited because Travis got really good footwork, handles pretty good.
J.P. McCura will start the offense for Chris Mack.
Much better defense on that little curl play they run so effectively. Nice hesitation.
A shot and one. Trevon Bluiett. That ankle must be loose to start.
He certainly blew right by them. A big fellow with the broad shoulders. This little hesitation after the cross, and Fowler disarmed. And this is a little tough matchup for him. Little kiss. Might get him go a little bit.
And he adds a free throw. 7-0 run for the X-Men.
Much better start for him than last night, right?
That's right. Remember, Butler has never won a game in the Big East tournament. Chris Holtman talked to me about that before, and they're a little anxious to get on the scoreboard here. Not easy today, having to try to beat a Xavier team 3 times this season. Keelan Martin. Straight away. Batted out, loose ball, picked up by Bernard.
Pretty good hustle, both clubs. McCure running the point now. Nice slip by O'Meara.
And a foul.
Nice look by McCure. Doing some really good things, J.P. McCure. He loves the guard, a little curl, using the big post rub. A second time. The floater, if you don't have it, you don't belong in the Garden.
J.P. McCure from Lakeville, Minnesota, Lakeville North High. He averages close to 15 a game. Had 13 yesterday on 5 of 11 shooting. As O'Meara, who also, as you mentioned, did a nice job, 8 points in 17 minutes. Also had 3 rebounds.
You know, it's funny, the adjustment they've had to have on the run without their star point guard has really thrust people into different roles, and the attention that they're getting they didn't get before when Sumner was playing.
Remember, Edmund Sumner lost for the season with a knee injury on this floor against St. John's. Sophomore, terrific talent.
Big time, no question.
9-0 run for the X-Men. Martin, baseline pull-up. Good.
Must be wet there. Everybody falling in that spot.
On that side.
Yeah.
Bluiett stepping back. He'll take it, and does. O'Meara with the offensive rebound.
Advantage to the offense when it long carom.
O'Meara posting now. Across the lane.
There you go.
Nicely done.
He's got nice hook releases with either hand. You're getting some solid minutes from the big guy.
15-7. O'Meara with 4 points. Xavier off to a great beginning against the #2 seed, the Butler Bulldogs. Martin again. Wet.
How about that ball fake, huh? The ball came down wet, is what you're saying.
You know, splash, coach.
He never played in the church league either.
Ceilings.
Yeah, exactly.
And that track up there.
In the corner, you couldn't get a jumper.
5 points for Keelan Martin. Bluiett driving and fouled again.
Yeah, nice cross, set him up. Got to use the dribble if you want to punish the defender. Now the drop step, and all of a sudden you're open. A little lifty release by O'Meara, but down the other end, just a little ball fake freezes the D. Nylon, pass him Metal, Gus.
Big East basketball here at the Garden for 35 years. The question is, who will take home the hardware.
My new
11:33 to play in the first half. Xavier up by 5. Let's go inside the huddle with Coach Chris Mack.
That's tough now. He's hit 2 jumpers. Bump high. We got to bump him higher. We got to close out, and then like we talked about, we got to build back in. We can't start eating jump shots on Keelan Martin. All right, we have to communicate our switches. That last time they went spread ball screen. They threw ahead to Travis. He came over, dribble handoff, and like we had 2 guys on the guy without the ball.
Dribble handoff is not that it's a new weapon, but it's a tough thing to defend. You know, what do? You stay at home, you switch, and then the guys like to run a dribble handoff and then a ball screen, and then it's a lot more confusion.
Trey Bluiett misses the first. Let's go to Lisa.
Listening into Butler's huddle, effort plays was the emphasis there, especially on the rebounding edge. Did not like the fact that right now Butler's getting out rebounded 7-4. And they pointed at Tyler Lewis and said, hey, the guards have to be the ones to lead the way. We're letting too many loose balls get away from us. We have to make the glass more of a priority. Gus?
All right, Lisa, thank you very much.
They pick on the little guys, huh, Lewis?
I tell you. Here's Baldwin. Martin, he's hit his last 2 jump shots. Now he drives, gets to the hole, and lays it in.
That's a big-time move. The offhand with strength and speed. Tough move.
Keelan Martin, all Big East second team. Now McCura.
Nice zone up in the back. Good rotation.
Ball knocked away. Great hands by Ball. Went into the hands of Gooden. Baseline. McCura. He'll drive. Kick. Blew it deep.
Numbers, Gus.
Leading the break. Bounce past the ball when deflected out of play. Looks like Gooden got a hand on it.
The ability to use that bounce. You're up high with the arms, and now you're at a disadvantage. Reaching in, off balance, and just exploiting that open hole. Nobody at home to protect and defend.
10:40 to play. First half, 16-12. Fowler tracked it down in the backcourt. He'll give it up to Tyler Lewis.
Good guys like to bounce it, don't they?
Yeah, they got to touch it.
They want to be in the game. Some clubs, it's the only time you touch it.
Skip pass. Martin again.
Well, you got to be careful when you sell out like that on a gamble. Give an open, clean look.
You like the pace, though, for Xavier against a team that's beaten them twice this year, Kaiser Gates. Ooh, beautiful rebound by Keelan Martin.
Pretty good ball movement. Both clubs really getting some good looks.
Savage feeds the post.
Loves to dribble and drop step. And closed on him nicely.
Savage a 3, and he drains it.
He can shoot it. No question about it. Just around 27-28 from 3.
Averaging 8 points a game. 2 years ago at GW, he averaged 12 and 5 rebounds. Inside, O'Mara, great position. Extra dribble, misses the chippy.
They do a great job finding the bigs.
Savage hit his last shot.
And he's got a pull-up game, too. He's got a guy he can take.
Martin. Savage, baseline, cut off by Gooden.
Good communication on the D.
Martin deep. Watch Gooden, he loves going left. And he's getting better when he gets to the rim.
Really going to help him next year.
Still working on that jump shot. Quentin Gooden.
Should have taken the time catching her breath right now. And Fowler can stretch the D because he can shoot it.
Savage turns the corner and draws a foul.
Love guys that attack a little bit. And the big outside, no deterrent at the rim. Excellent read.
So that foul. And it's called on Bernard as he picks up his first. So Keithan Savage at the free throw line. 73% shooter this season.
Had a pretty good game against Villanova. This kid, nice addition. Boy, is it refreshing to get some new blood.
Tyreek Jones returns. He didn't play last night because he was under concussion protocol. Suffered a concussion in their last regular season game against DePaul.
And they were lean last night, too, up front. And welcome back for Chris Mack.
So both free throws good. 17-16.
Little turnout on the right side, but McCure once again, third time.
Double clutch off the glass and in.
With the left. Is he okay? Getting up slowly. Tough kid.
6 points for JP. 1 point game.
Nice to have somebody from Midwest alongside me that's tough. In the same building.
That's right. Minnesota, Michigan. Cross court, Luke Martin. Nice. Inside, great position. Weidman, jump hook goes.
And a nice pass, too, by Martin. Great entry.
It's not complicated. It looks simple, but very effective what Butler does offensively.
Well, they take advantage. If you lapse a little, don't do your homework early. Here's that zone we all thought we'd see. This was more of a 1-2-2. A little bit of a matchup.
Bernard. And we'll head the other way. 7:23 to play in the first half. Butler up by 1, and there have been some great names that have played in this tournament in the past. And we've got some good ones right now.
Nothing.
Coming up next, it's our last Big East quarterfinal of the day as Providence takes on Creighton. That's next exclusively here on FS1. And some of the stars you'll see in the game coming up next.
Looking for Chris Foster, really is outstanding offensive player. Patton, just a big time. The way he runs the floor is magnificent. Of course, his finish at the rim are pretty. And Bullock, when he plays well, that is a tough out. Providence, Cartwright running the show and finding people, almost 7 assists.
And a look at the bracket. How about the national champions? They were in the building today against St. John's and came out in beast mode. Dante DiVincenzo, the big ragu, with 25.
My wife likes to stay in the kitchen all day and make the sauce. She doesn't go for the bottles.
1918 Butler. What do you think about the pace of play so far?
I like it. I mean, not shooting the ball particularly well. When they get an open look, not converting. And here's the 1-1-3, something we saw a lot of last night.
Butler had 5 turnovers in the first 6 minutes. No turnovers in the last 6 minutes now.
Now, Lewis running the show doesn't make many mistakes. Real sound. For a guy who's a shooter, he still can shoot, but more of a scorer when he first started playing.
Savage dips inside, can't lay it down. And here come the Musketeers. Gooden crosses over, gets to the hole, left hand pinned on the glass. And saved by Savage. Bulldogs on the move.
Well, both clubs getting back in balance. Pretty good transition D. So they don't come out on Weidman at all. He's got to be active screening, giving him opportunities maybe with a kick pass. Down to 7 already.
Savage 4 to shoot. Lewis, he lets it go. And the rebound goes to Avery Woodson.
Well, when you're defending, that is a backbreaker.
Martin inside.
You're really good at using the post rubs, keeps himself active.
Ten to shoot for Gooden.
Got to get between defenders here with a flash or a dribble.
Skip pass, Bernard open.
Oh, that was unattractive. Should only get one for that one. But you'll take it.
So Malcolm Bernard with 5 points and a timeout called. 5:28 to play in the first half, 21-19.
Would you call this a soft touch?
Yes.
Fortuitous? Wow. Use it all, kid.
This is the Silverado Special Edition.
This is one gorgeous truck.
Oh, did I say?
Hey, welcome back to the Big East Tournament on FS1, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. 21-19, Xavier on top of Butler. And some stars from other tournaments and this tournament. How about Angel Delgado? 1 assist away from a triple-double.
How good was he today? He just gobbles them up. And Luke Kennard watched that game. He made the second half, stepped up, open threes. Louisville didn't make foul shots. And for Dorsey and Oregon, they will take care of business as well. They are pretty good. Brooks as well. Got size and Boucher up front. Shot blocker, they are a good team. Benson used to be a bench guy. They're coming off the bench now, I should say.
Tyler Lewis.
Oh, he had him.
Baldwin for 3. Rims off. Makura the other way. 7 lead changes already in this game. Bernard hit his last shot. Now he drives baseline. Rejected by Weidman.
What an attention to detail. They got to get Travis going. He hasn't scored.
Lewis. Travis can't get any touches. He passed that one out though. And a new shot clock for Butler.
He is a team player, but they need him to punch him in or find people.
Inside Lewis. And the mid-range jump shot goes down.
Nice look. Andrew, a Rhode Island kid in the Midwest.
And we're level at 21.
Weidman's not pretty out there, but he has an effective way of playing. Nice cut again.
Out of bounds. And it's Xavier ball. Bluiett heading out of the game, as well as Jones, Gaston, and Gates. Enter.
Probably have to pace Jones, don't you think? A concern. How often did you play a game and you were a little rocky? Once again, nice give back off the curl.
And Rashid Gaston.
You just played. You didn't go to the train. Well, you didn't have a trainer when we were kids.
I remember having a dinged up head against Aquinas one year.
Is that right?
In Southgate, Michigan.
Football or basketball?
It's football. And Travis fouled.
Now I understand you. That's the reason. Nice to work with a dinged up partner. The big guy, they don't have quite the inside game they used to, but Gaston's applying a lift with post entry, too easy. Weidman normally does his homework early. A nice counter with the left.
Early stages of a potential upset here in Manhattan. Xavier up 2 on number 18 Butler. Rob Stone here with you. And coming up on the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report, we'll show you something that Kansas has done only once before in their basketball history, plus show you how Villanova and Seton Hall got to the semifinals. And we're also going to talk a hot selling item here in New York. This t-shirt, I don't get it. It's one of the lamest catchphrases I've ever heard in my life, Gus, but we're going to talk t-shirts.
Oh, you got one. I got one too. How about that? Don't you have enough money? What? I mean, jeez.
I was talking.
Do you need
to
more
it.
money?
I was.
Jesus. I got to pay for this?
Oh, my God, no.
Oh, my goodness. I love it, though. They're nice and soft. Where do you get these, Coach?
I have no idea. Check with my son, Billy.
This was yesterday. Look at the photo bomb in the back.
How about that?
Look at you, Coach. Your grandkids.
How about that?
Who is this little one in the front with the Georgetown cap?
Well, Nick Wood is a Georgetown grad. That's Lucy, Alex, and Bill, and one of their friends, Jackson. So they were here to enjoy the game yesterday.
Nice. Do they get free T-shirts, or you make them pay too?
Well, they got to clear it, you know. But actually, it's one of those things you get talked into, and now I'm totally nationally embarrassed. Basically.
I like it. Coach, they're great. They're awesome. All right, Travis at the line. By the way, I know, Coach, you're a big-time golfer. This young man is a low handicap.
Is that right?
He can stroke the ball.
Well, Rhode Island, you know, Billy Andrade, Brad Faxon, both of them on the tour. Both of them now. Of course, Brad works for Fox, too. Golf.
23 up. 3:34 to play in the first half. Gaston and Makura gets leveled by Savage.
11 white. Bang here.
Savage picking up foul number 1. I love Chris Mack and what he's done. His team lost 6 straight games before the final regular season game at DePaul. They won that game, snapped that losing streak. But this team has battled so much adversity with injuries and dismissals.
And 20 wins. I mean, it's amazing.
Again.
Yeah.
Bluiett driving down the lane. Hung up. Taken away. Weidman. Butler can take the lead right here. Travis.
See, they don't make mistakes. Now, he hasn't had a shot.
And he's not forcing it.
No, exactly. They're making entry passes. And here's the cutter. Finds him. The kickback.
Weidman out of his range, but he knocks it down anyway.
Woo! What an addition that is. He can ring the bell.
7 points for Tyler Weidman. And Butler takes a 2-point lead. Xavier led by as many as 8 here in the first half.
They just keep working, Butler. Nice help by Weidman. Ooh, a little nickel dimer maybe on the reach in. You don't want him to get fouls out there if that was on him. Just good feel on the dive and then the kick back here. Good deployment, good understanding, good unselfish play. And Weidman's folks are saying, why don't they give my son the ball a little more out there?
Weidman picks up his second.
It was a cheapie for a guy, big guy outside.
And he'll sit down with 2 minutes and 34 seconds remaining here in the first half. Chris Holtman talking to Travis. He loves the way this man has played for him this season and during his time at Butler.
He's had a great career, this kid. He understands the game. He doesn't jump out at you with anything he does. It's just his overall game is so solid. Good understanding.
Makura hadn't been able to get that jump shot off. Butler really guarding him closely.
We got a little zone look now, a little counter. A little protection. Every time you change something, it puts the thought process in, and a good open look by Kaiser.
And here come the Bulldogs. Baldwin, jump stop 3.
Got it. Pretty good. Look at this kid hustling. Travis
going after it. Digs it out. Can't hold on. Bernard will pull it back and give it up to Makura. Under 2 minutes to play.
Just a little wrinkle. You've got to adjust quickly against this zone. Nobody flashing.
Bluiett, 8 to shoot.
I'd love to see Bluiett on that foul line. He can shoot the jumper and go to the rim.
Gates knocked out of his hands with 1 on the shot clock.
Got to be big on the ball.
Gates has to have a quicker trigger. He's got such a terrific jump shot, but he defers to Bluiett so often. It would be nice to see him offensively be a little bit more aggressive.
Well, remember last night he passed one up, and then he got it back and made the jumper late? He does have a nice looking stroke coming out of the game. They're going to have something, catch and shoot, or somebody at the rim. And I like this big on the ball, too.
Good in the inbounder. Martin guards. Macura can't get it off in time.
Boy, that was a quick 1 second, though. I don't blame.
And that's what Chris Mack is saying to the scorers table right now.
You were able to catch it and shoot it. You know, it could have been late in the 1 second. You know, we don't have the tenths.
And Chris Mack decides to live and fight another day.
Now, you weren't here. Fitzy Brody used to take care of the clock here at the Garden. And he was known for magic fingers when the Knicks were
home cooking.
He would deny it. God bless Feets.
1:20 to go. 2-point game. Butler, the number 2 seed.
Nice back screen and nobody home. And they got a foul.
And a foul is coming up.
One way of stopping that play. Still no 1-on-1 though.
And that's Bluiett picking up his first.
They're holding on to him as one way of destroying.
Inside, and Savage with the dribble penetration and easy layup. And Butler takes a 27-23 lead. 6-0 run for the Bulldogs.
Nice denial by Fowler. Good job.
Savage penetrating. Left hand, no.
Too harsh.
Bluiett the other way, under a minute to go. Bernard for 3. Pure.
A nice unselfish play, too. The kick back by Bluiett.
About a 4-second differential. As the shot clock is turned off. Game clock now at 23. Savage did not pick up the ball. Kentucky is the call.
Give it to Monk.
We'll give it to Martin because Martin is from Kentucky. Baseline ball went from Georgia. How about that?
Well, it's down south anyhow.
And that's the end of the first half.
Good ball movement. A little nylon corner to end it. Some good basketball play by Butler the last minute and change. Pretty effective. Unselfish play. Find your partner. Lefties always look prettier when they stroke it from deep. And this team is just so solid. Their judgment prevails. Good shots on a consistent basis. Get you home with a smile.
5 ties, 8 lead changes in the first half. Butler trailed by as many as 8, but lead it going into halftime 30-26. Here's Lisa.
First, offensively, Macura and Bluiett have about half of your points. What have you liked about their matchups and their decision-making here in the first half?
Well, I mean, Butler's a really good defensive team, so we got to be able to score when we can. You know, I thought some of our out screens getting in the lane helped us. Got to be able to convert in and around the basket. They're really physical. We had several, or at least what it felt like several shots being blocked around the basket. Got to be able to pump fake and go up strong. What
makes the difference in the second half in your mind?
Well, you know, the first 2 games, 72 minutes to the 80, we played it even. And I told our team before the game, you know, how are we going to define those 8 minutes? And I feel like we're in the same position here, 20 minutes, you know, into the game, and we got to be a little bit more resilient here in the second half.
Thank you, Gus.
All right, that's the end of the first half with the score 30-26. Rob Stone, Steve Levitt, and Donnie Marshall will be back with the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report. Right after this, you're watching the Big East Tournament exclusively on FS1.
Lady Liberty looking stunning as always as we welcome you to the Jeep Grand Cherokee FS1 College Hoops halftime report. We're somewhere down there amongst those big buildings, Madison Square Garden at the break between Xavier and Butler, the 2v7 matchup. The Bulldogs, who took both regular season meetings with a 4-point lead in the locker room. Rob Stone, Steve Lavin, Donnie Marshall, back here with you. Usually we talk about starters, right, Donnie?
Usually,
but
unless
Butler's got themselves a unique situation with a guy who comes off the bench, who continues to make an impact, and he is the focus of our Jeep Grand Cherokee highlights from the first half.
If I didn't know this program and Chris Holtmann and this player, I would say it's a gimmick. I would say it's gimmicky, but he really believes in bringing Keelan Martin off the bench because he gives them punch. The other thing that you love about him is that he understands how to get guys involved. He's not just going out there to score. He's also finding guys. He knows he's going to draw a couple, find the next open guy. That's how they ended the half, finding Kamar Baldwin in the corner. 2 assists for him, 7 points, and he's going to get his shots.
Remember, Keelan was a starter. This is his 8th straight game off the bench, Coach.
You know, what I'm impressed with is Xavier. Chris Mack's had a couple weeks now with this group. They're shorthanded, clearly overwhelmed in terms of the talent gap that they're playing with now against Butler, but they're competitive, and this is good in terms of the optics. If they could be competitive down the stretch, obviously a win would be ideal, but even to play competitive against a team like Butler is going to be seeded high in the NCAA tournament bodes well for what we talked about earlier with the optics. They've got enough math, but now this helps them to get in the tournament to be that 7th Big East team.
No optical illusions when you look at the three-point shooting. Xavier 2 of 10, Butler 3 of 11. The optics are bad for one of the potential #1 seeds as well. Both Kansas and Villanova in action today. Read the nonverbals. It went well for one, not so well for another.
Hi, I'm Gus Johnson. And welcome back to Madison Square Garden. Our score at halftime, Butler, the #2 seed, with a 30-26 lead over Xavier, the #7 seed here at the Big East Tournament. Gus Johnson along with Coach Raff. Butler down by 8 points. They come back to lead at halftime, and it's something about this team. They know how to play their particular style of basketball that can throw you out of what you do.
It can be confusing. They play close to the vest. Again, they make great decisions. They're not in a hurry. You can't speed them up. You've got to be fundamentally sound if you're going to beat this club.
All right, let's take a look at the Jeep Grand Cherokee first half stats.
Not lighting it up from 3, would you suggest, Gustavo? Goes to points off the bench rather even, and points in the paint. Pretty even game.
Let's go to Lisa Byington.
Gus, I had a conversation with Butler's Chris Holtmann, and he's hoping for a more fluid second half from his team. He said, I think nerves were actually kind of an issue. Remember, this is our debut in the Big East tournament, and remember, 3 of my 5 starters have never played in a Big East tournament game. In fact, I was even kind of nervous here to start. The emphasis, rebounding, continues to be an emphasis here for Butler, and trying to find a matchup to shut down Trevon Bluiett. Gus?
All right, Lisa, remember, Butler has never won a game in the Big East tournament since entering the conference. Schrabis inside, and a nice run to the basket for Schrabis.
I like that coming out of the gate, getting him involved. And well, I mean, what a tough entry. Nobody was guarding him, and Schrabis just loaded up.
Schrabis with 4 points. Now Makura along with Bernard, Gooden, Gaston, and Bluiett to start the second half. Makura has to look for his offense. That jump shot is deadly. Gooden. And 1.
Well, they could use him. He had 2 fouls that first half. But getting in that lane, he's a strong kid. We've seen him elevate at the rim as well. But this is a nice unselfish play by Bernard, and here the ability to make that shot. Great addition to your repertoire.
And you talk about how strong he is. I love this story. He set the freshman bench press record 225 20 times. The only player on the team stronger than him, Rasheed Gaston, got him by 2.
Wow. And he's a bigger guy. Bigger, stronger, I'm sure. See if they keep going to Schrabis a little bit. He's a great decision maker.
Avery Woodson backs it up. Wyman calling for it. He's got Gaston facing. Now backing him down. Drop step, baseline, jump hook, air ball snatched out of the air by Bluiett.
Nice job by Gaston.
Bluiett's got to hit a couple of jump shots now. His jumper has been off in this tournament. We got an offensive foul against Gaston. He and Weidman have been battling. That's a great matchup. They're two big, strong men.
He didn't have to do it. Just go down and get settled. And once you lift that arm, easy call, full extension. He can't believe he did it.
Gaston, 6'9", 240. Weidman, 6'8", 240.
They could have played with you in high school. 3 sports star, all city. You got a little game going.
Once upon a time, coach. Yesteryear. Al Baldwin, who was recruited by Providence hard, but decided because Butler was there from the beginning to go to Butler.
Nice checkup, cure on Travis.
Macura. Guarded by Travis. Bernard drives baseline and a foul.
Oh boy, you can do some damage putting it on the deck. Macura really wanted to jack one up too.
Gotta see him jack it up a little bit.
He was feeling it. And the defense closed out on him.
What a great coach this man is, though.
Oh, he is very well respected nationally.
Came from Gardner-Webb. Was an assistant for Brandon Miller. Then took the head job. Chris Holtman when Miller left on medical leave.
They were very fortunate to have this guy sitting on the bench.
Savage. Xavier, dating back to the first half, sleepwalking a bit. See if they can get their energy going. Bluiett. There it is.
That guy, second half, huh? Likes to step it up a little bit, but the pass on the baseline set it up out top.
32 up. 9 points for Bluiett. Baldwin. Travis a 3. Macura brings it up the floor. They can take the lead here. Gaston ahead of the field. And that one deflected out of bounds by Savage.
Gaston did a great job getting control of that. But look at this baseline whip all the way around the horn. And then just get those puppies organized and drill it. Get you out of the gate with some confidence. Goodness.
And an interesting stat for Xavier. J.P. Macura has not even attempted a three-point shot today.
The way Bluiett shoots, it gives new meaning to your rise and fire. Rise higher and fire.
Here's Bluiett down the lane, the double pump. Batted around. Savage in the front court to the cup. And stripped out of bounds.
Good, really. He must have had all ball because they let it play on.
It looked like a foul to me, Coach.
Yeah, I think so. That's when you like to show.
I love these Big East officials. No blood, no foul. That's what I like about this conference. Best officials in the country.
You don't need it. You need a cut man, but you don't get him till the end of the game, right?
That's right. Martin. Baseline, double team. Travis, hard drive. Loose ball. Plucked down, Macura.
Nice protection. Good feel.
Macura crossing over to the cup.
Ooh, goodness, he fell in an unusual fashion. He just was all about getting to the free throw line on that particular play. But anything for free in the open floor, Macura runs it down, and this end, a little dance with the bounce, and you just want to go to the free throw line. Heady play by a vet.
Did you ever see Pistol Pete Maravich play live?
I did.
In college?
He played Georgetown here in the NIT years ago.
Did he have 40?
I don't think he had a big game, but they won.
Did you? If he would have had a three-point line during his time, he averaged, what, 44 in college at LSU?
Right. And this will, I don't know if he was a great pure shooter. Now, by the way, are you comparing Macura?
No.
Oh, okay.
But that was a
just
Pistol Pete-esque
move
on the baseline.
He had all the spin shots of the glass, and you know, the floppy hair, the floppy socks. Lonzo Ball kind of passing ability.
Baldwin. Double teamed inside. Fowler put it on the floor, loses it. Scramble, and the arrow goes to Xavier.
Yeah, gotta learn. You can't put it down like that in traffic. Make everybody your size.
And that's the first Butler turnover in the last 18 minutes.
I think Pistol ended up getting a ring with the Celtics late in his career.
Yes, I think he did.
Guy in, brought Walton in, Red Auerbach.
I have a beautiful picture of Pistol Pete in my house from George Kalinsky.
Oh, sure.
The great Garden photographer who took that picture when he played at LSU here at the Garden.
Nice.
Inside, Fowler. No, make that O'Mara, excuse me, and he loses it.
Well, they had a nice place set up. Chris, he has no hair to lose, but he was rubbing his head on that particular play. O'Mara, gotta control it.
The Big East Tournament on FS1 is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Madison Square Garden, 33-32. Xavier with a 1-point lead over Butler. These teams trying to advance to the NCAA tournament, and here are some teams, according to Stuart Mandel, that will be the #1 seeds.
And you alluded to Kansas losing. That could change things a little bit. Gonzaga winning their tournament. And Carolina looked awfully good. How about they and Duke? Ringing a bell. Mount St. Mary's. My old pal Jimmy Fallon used to be the coach down there. Of course, Iona. One of the Cluses coaching, and Wichita State back. Greg Marshall has a way of doing it. Bucknell with a big win in the Patriot, huh? Good for them. They beat the Lehigh, I guess the Engineers, I guess, right? You know what they called?
What don't you know about college basketball?
Well, a lot of those teams. And bow to you.
You're almost as good as our producer, Steve Shear.
Oh, Steve is
also known as Stevie Wonder. Basketball genius. Here's Savage bringing it up the floor.
Got a little two-man play here, Gus.
Inside, Savage. Double pump. Too strong, O'Mara.
Great defense. They got away with some steps in there, too.
Last couple of trips up and down the floor, Xavier's played with a little bit more energy. Seems like Butler can kind of lull you to sleep.
Yeah, they can. You're not going to get some breakout easy baskets. Good ball reversal, little America's play, screen the screener. Good catch, go strong. That's what you got to do. Jam it in there. And boy, that helps the outside people. A nice little loop to that left hand and then avoiding the traffic. Get yourself organized patiently. O'Mara with a chance for three. Now they know what this means, just to get one step closer. Now Luke Murray alongside there.
10-0 run for the Musketeers as J.P. Makura comes back into the game. And I was talking to Ashley Howard, one of the assistants for Villanova. Terrific young coach. He, along with Baker, Dunleavy, and Kyle Neptune. And I said, how did Butler beat you twice? He said, they made us do things that we don't normally do. We didn't do what we do. What does that mean?
Well, I just think they
in terms of Butler's style of play.
Well, you're defensively is what they're mostly about, and the patience on the offense. They're not going to do anything to give you runouts. How about this kid? What a recruit he's been, Baldwin.
So Baldwin with 5 points now. Unanimous all Big East freshman team for Kamar Baldwin. Bluiett. 15-footer, pure.
And that's the strength you talked about, too. A little discard, ability to do it in a legal fashion.
Bluiett with 11. He averages 18 on the season. Remember, he's got a tender ankle. Doesn't seem like it's affecting him right now. Martin, 20-footer.
Well, he loves that crossover, doesn't he? Just sizes you up. Able to get the puppies organized and drill it.
Even Martin, he's a big guy, 6'7" as well, and a steal. Tyler Lewis to the hole, and good. And just like that, the Bulldogs tie it up at 38. And a steal. Lewis again. Macura falling asleep. Lewis goes down hard.
They got the feet tangled up. Macura on the trip before. Just too much of a hurry. Just give an opportunity, open floor. Right here. And Lewis, ever alert, able to get to that rim without the foul. And then, as you mentioned, coughing it up and giving an opportunity at the free throw line again. Lewis just plays the game, contributes in a solid fashion. Unfortunately, nobody hurt their ankle or anything on that play.
On Saturday in their loss against Seton Hall, it was Tyler Lewis's first game back in the starting lineup after coming off the bench in 6 straight. Takes care of the basketball. He has a 6-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio in the last 5 games.
Man, Macura really saved the basket when you think of it. No free throws either with that foul. Little hook now. He's got it.
Fowler.
There you go.
There it is.
He'll give some inside punch. Helps the others.
40-38. Butler back on top. 6-0 run in 40 seconds.
Elbow series, high-low, yo-yo.
Bluiett. And a foul. Keelan Martin.
And nobody there to help. No distress. Just a fake little double. Little kiss by the big fella. And Fowler, we've seen him make that deep shot as well. He used all the glass on that particular one.
Martin picks up his second. Bluiett. Macura. Macura has been lacking concentration. Now Martin. Euro. Left hand. No, but a foul. Back-to-back turnover.
Yeah,
for J.P. Macura.
Yeah, giving it. He knows it too. And this is where you miss Sumner running the show a little bit.
Remember, he's not a real point guard.
Gooden's a guy that really's got to help him out a little bit.
Here's Edmond from Detroit, Michigan. Sensational talent.
Country Day. Most famous, would you say?
I'm sorry, Coach, what'd you say?
No, the most famous graduate, would you say?
Of Detroit Country Day?
Battier, maybe, or?
I would say Chris Webber.
Chris Webber, yeah.
And Shane Battier, he was a National Player of the Year coming out of Detroit Country Day. Great career at Duke and longtime NBA player. 13:08 to play. 42-38 now, Butler. Gooden. And he traveled.
Yeah, got the call, the right one, too.
Last few trips, Xavier looking shaky. 10 turnovers.
And Martin at the forward spot, denying, caused part of that problem, stayed at home.
Travis in the backcourt now to start this set. Martin.
A little zone look. Travis dangerous in the middle.
Baldwin 3 off the mark. Here comes Bluiett with another rebound. Kaiser Gates. Bluiett kicks it out. Gates, 16 to shoot.
He's got to dribble at the rim a little bit. Gates loosen it up when he gets it.
He's got a shaky handle. Gooden to Gates. He can hit this. Bernard with a rebound. Tried to force it inside, and Xavier turns it over once again. Here's Baldwin in the front court. Crosses over down the lane. Rejected by O'Mara.
How about that? Staying at home, the big fella. And Fowler did a pretty good job jamming up the defense. But when you're left, you love to go left, even if there's traffic in the area. They're pretty solid, huh? Staying at home, not a leaper, but great anticipation.
Tyreek Jones comes in now for Xavier. Martin. He'll step back and shoot it. Just like that.
Why do you leave him? I mean, he really wasn't exploiting you.
Largest lead of the game now for Butler on an 11-0 run to take a 45-38 lead.
Booker's not happy, but when you're playing a guy like this, you can just see how they get jammed up, and Jones uncomfortable on that switch. You got a 4-man or a 5-man, depending, trying to guard him.
Both these teams trying to advance to the semifinals to play for the Big East Tournament Championship Trophy.
It's
And welcome back to the Big East Tournament on FS1, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. That's a beautiful shot of Radio City Music Hall. And our score at the Garden right down the street, 45-38. Butler on top of Xavier, and a look at the bracket here in the Big East Tournament.
And you mentioned earlier how the Cats played today. That's going to be, I think, a terrific game. Seton Hall playing at their top right now. Of course, last year, walked out of here with the championship.
That'll be a 1 versus 5 game. First game of the night tomorrow. And then the winner of this game will take on the winner of our next game between Creighton and Providence.
You know who very seldom is talked about? Brunson.
That's right, Jalen Brunson. Yeah.
I mean, he has had just an incredible year.
He's an incredible player.
Of course, Josh Hart getting deserved praise as well, but amazing. A little zone look. 1-2-2. By the Bulldogs. You hear it back on the floor just to settle them down a little bit.
Cross court. Bernard. Extra pass. Bluiett for 3. And hits.
Great ball movement. And he is refreshed right now the way he is stroking it.
He told me his ankle is at about 85%. 14 points now for Trey. Top of the key, Savage down the lane. That one got up high, batted out by Travis.
Nice save.
Martin on the baseline, driving, using the size. Now Martin for 3. And taken down by Bernard.
Well, he went after that.
Yes, he did.
Trying to get Jones involved a little bit.
Jones is very effective down low. He was 8 for 8, or career high 16 points at Creighton this season.
A little ISO.
Bluiett finding his rhythm to the bucket, and an offensive foul. His second.
Great footwork. Chris Mack can't believe the call on that particular play. Thought his guy had the angle.
45-41, Butler, 10:31 to play. Starting to get interesting here in NYC. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with National Alliance on Mental Illness and their commitment to improving the lives of families and those living with mental illness. Learn more about how to be stigma-free and visit foxsportsupports.com. 10:31 to play, second half, 45-41. Butler, the number 2 seed, leading Xavier, the number 7 here at the Big East Tournament. And a look at our keys to success.
Well, of course, our guy Bluiett has stepped up a little bit in the second half. Good and pretty quiet. But how about the other end? Baldwin getting other people involved. They have been steady. Doing a pretty solid job.
All right, let's go to Lisa Byington.
Listening into Chris Mack's huddle, he wrote down 2 numbers on his whiteboard, a 7 and a 6. The 7 for the first possessions in the last few minutes, and 6 for the turnovers on those 7 possessions. He said, guys, we have to take care of the basketball. We're not giving us or our offense any chance to win. Gus?
All right, Lisa, and a quick foul on Bernard. Trying to deny Keelan Martin his second.
Yeah.
Lewis, Baldwin, Martin, Travis, Fowler for the Bulldogs.
They had some success inside with Fowler. Could really help them.
He's calling for it, really squatting low. Receives on the box.
Repost.
Martin, he wants to shoot it. Inside, Travis, and a foul.
Nice cut. I thought that was a play on, by the way. really bailed his teammate out with a good dive. Travis, always talk about his intellect when it comes to the game. He'll be playing with you at Chelsea Piers another 25 years. You guys will be down there.
Oh, yeah, hitting golf balls?
No.
Oh, okay. Playing basketball,
yeah.
Are you crazy?
He will.
I won't. 3 things you need to know about Andrew is reality show he'd star in, Man versus Food. I like that. Favorite kids game, Hungry Hungry Hippos. Scariest amusement ride, It's a Small World.
Have you been on that?
I don't even know what that is.
I have no idea.
I think you just float or something.
That's up my alley there.
And it's in air conditioning, they said. 6 points for Travis.
I think these kids just strung Steve Shear along, to be honest with you.
Bluiett knocked out of his hands from behind. Nice turnover. Forced by Butler. 13 turnovers for Xavier. Baldwin with the right hand this time.
Whoops.
And he traveled.
Too much. And Jones with a little message on the rejection.
Seven turnovers for Butler. They averaged 10 on the season. Coach Holtman trying to keep his guys motivated.
This is where they hang their hat on this end. Nice cross screen. They just jam up cutters by being in the right, jumping to the basketball. Look at that front on the post. Takes away the passing lane. Travis.
5 to shoot.
Weak side help. And that's, you asked me what Butler does, that's what they do. They just create confusion by being in the right spot. Terrific reads. Making sure. Assisting here when necessary. That's a heck of an arrow by me, by the way. But good attention. Got 1 left on the shot clock, too. See if Fitzy Brody's working. Catch, shoot.
O'Mara, and he's fouled by Weidman. Wow.
Boy. What a turn of events. Weidman, that's number 3, I believe.
Coach Holtman just turns and looks the other way. You can't believe it with 1 on the shot clock.
Well, you want to challenge, but you don't want to lean. Oh, there he's leaning forward already. That's a pardon me foul.
And O'Mara missing the first. Weidman a little irritated. Second free throw goes down. 47 to 42. 9 minutes to play in the second half.
Could be a nice finish here.
You have that feeling.
Yeah, you do.
Great crowd here at the Garden tonight.
I think the league's done a great job continuing the growth and the impact. Nice hands. O'Mara again.
Akira brings it the other way. He has not attempted a 3 today. Bluiett. And Bernard has it stripped out of his hands.
Nice job. Martin in the right spot. Great anticipation. Drop step.
Martin for 3. Bluiett. (16) chases his own shot. Can't get there. Xavier out of sync offensively right now because of this Butler defense.
In a little bit of a hurry, that trip. Nice slip and finish. Weidman. And Lewis right on the money, little guy.
9 points for Weidman. 49 to 42 Butler.
Travis a little bit winded. I would take him.
Just want to see Mercure do something for him, coach. Give him something offensively. And Bluiett foul going down the lane.
See, Travis was tired. He just didn't guard that trip. But you're right. They need some action. Trying to be a point guard. But when you understand the game, you get to the rim. Little drag screen. Weidman finish it big time. Nice look, Lewis.
Coming up next, it's our last Big East quarterfinal of the day as Providence takes on Creighton. That's next, exclusively here on FS1. 49-42 Butler. Here in the second half. Let's go inside the huddle with Chris Mack.
Offensively, we got to slow down. We got to slow down. We haven't put the ball in the box in a long time, okay? Everybody's trying to make a play out of the right reason. We want to win, but we're going to win because we're going to put the ball in the box. Understand? No deflections. Let's make sure we get it in there. Each and every time.
That softens everything up. And one thing that Butler does great is when the post guy gets involved in any role, they stand him up so he can't get to the box. I mean, and on cross screens, they stuff it. And they are just terrific on the defensive end. But if you can get it in, either with the dribble or the pass, certainly they're going to help. So you might find somebody.
They forced 11 turnovers from Xavier here in the second half alone.
And they don't turn it over. It's a little under 10.
Bluiett with 15 points. And he gets a pair. 49-44.
There's a kid that almost went to UCLA. Amazing.
Stayed home because he has a little brother that he wanted to stay close to in Indianapolis. Martin with room, spinning, firing, short. Tough job for Makira guarding the 6'7" Martin.
But a pretty good job that trip.
See if Makira looks for a shot.
And he can elevate over Baldwin too. A little cross screen, that's for him. Good read.
O'Mara.
And be careful with the pond. That's play. He just was really organized, thorough, and patient.
O'Mara is 6'10". Makes it a 3-point game. 6:40 to go.
Boy, the guards are coming out party for this kid. He's played well.
He has 10. Travis guarded by Bluiett.
Got to stay at home because he finds people.
Martin backs it up. 7 to shoot. He's going to go for it. Rise and fire.
Nice job. Menard sort of slapping it back.
Xavier, a team before their injuries, ranked as high as number 7 this year.
Well, they paid attention to that timeout, Xavier. They went right to O'Mara on the box and try and do it again. Weigman is a force, though.
7 to shoot. Bernard takes a look at the clock, takes a 3, and we're tied.
When in doubt, under duress. And that should open it up a little more on your entry passes.
11 points for Bernard. 7-0 run for the Musketeers. Timeout, Butler. Starting to get interesting here at the Garden. (49-49), 5:40 to play in the second half. Coach, what are you seeing so far?
Well, pretty solid defense, I believe, on that Butler side. And now Xavier slowing it down, being a little more comfortable, punching it inside as we see 2 timeouts left for each, and a one-on-one situation. And how about the big guy? We've seen him early using that left hand. A great footwork, drop step, using the shoulder to ward off. He has been a big-time factor.
O'Mara, a junior from Glen Ellen, Illinois. Bennett Academy. Baldwin will find Fowler. He likes to go to his shoulder on the jump hook. Does. They can't get it to stay down.
It's amazing off of timeouts how coaches get good shots.
Xavier with a chance to take the lead right here. They've trailed by as many as 7. Bluiett. Inside O'Mara again on the box. That's where they want him, with Fowler on his back across the lane.
And they cleared out for him too. Well designed.
Lewis. And a foul.
Makira, I think. a straight line drive. Boy, Chris Mack's beside himself and not able to contain this penetration. And nice job by Fowler. I've seen him do that a couple times tonight. He gets mixed up in traffic and the ability to get to that 10.
It looked like Macura got him.
Chris got to be careful. They're looking over at him. He is livid on that with that particular call, or maybe O'Mara's play at the other end.
And Lewis misses both free throws. Bernard saves it from going out of bounds. Xavier can take the lead once again on this trip. They've gone to O'Mara 3 straight times. Let's see if Bluiett tries to get into the act this time. Bernard.
Oh, goodness, the foul bailed him out. That was not going to be a good shot.
And Keelan Martin not happy with that call. His third.
Forcing him the right side, too, and he doesn't like it, but the foul actually was initiated a little before.
Malcolm Bernard has had a very solid game. 8 points in the first half, 11 total. He also has 9 rebounds.
You say 1-on-1? And I think that's the right call, too. The foul was before he went into the active shooting. Chris doesn't agree.
11th lead change now with Xavier taking the lead. Bernard, a 60% free throw shooter. Batted out, he picked it up. Nice hands by O'Mara.
Pretty good hustle.
Gooden. Not a lot of space for him to drive today. Bluiett falling down. Kicks it out. Saved. But into the hands of Baldwin. He's got Lewis with him. Here's Lewis to the hole. Lost it. Out of play, and we'll go the other way.
And the right call, too. Oh, in a little too much of a hurry. Chris Holman just saying, hey, slow it down a little if you don't have it. A little frenetic play. The last couple of trips, he really never caught it, looking for the defender before he sealed it.
Savage back on the floor for Lewis.
Keep riding O'Mara, I think.
(50-49) Xavier. And once again, Macura turns it over. Baldwin penetrating to the hole, up and in.
How about the way he turned his shoulder and finished it?
J.P. Macura has had 3 bad turnovers.
Yes, he's been struggling.
Just mentally, it just doesn't seem like he's in the game.
Trying to do a little bit too much.
What he needs to do, Coach, and what he's good at is shooting that ball.
They're not giving him any openings, though.
Bluiett, he makes an opening and lays it in, plus the foul.
And I think it may have been Travis got beat. Nice read, the ability to put it on the deck and mix it up. How about that? The open floor, you got a chance to turn that shoulder, finish it at the one end, and then the counter. The ability baseline, Travis from the rear. Gets a little piece. Big time. Attack at its head.
Butler, Xavier battling for a spot in the semifinals. 52-51 Xavier. 3:16 to go here in the second half as we take a look at the game reset. Xavier and Butler both with 2 timeouts. Butler with the arrow.
And Xavier with 17 turnovers. We take a look at the foul problems coming down the stretch. And they average 12. So they've got to value the ball. You mentioned Macura. He has struggled with some decisions. Bluiett as well. Between them, they have 8.
Bluiett, though, has scored 29 second half points the last 2 nights as he heads to the free throw line to shoot 1. .76% free throw shooter.
He reminds me of you a little bit. You like the second half too. Coming down the stretch with a tight one.
As he makes it, he's 7 of 8 tonight from the line. And Xavier takes a 53-51 lead.
And here they go zone. 1-1-3. Matchup. A lot of pointing. Think of rebounds now.
Yesterday, Billy Garrett Jr. with flash to the elbow, and he was very successful hitting 15-foot jump shots.
They're having no trouble under 5.
Martin, 20-footer. Gets his own rebound and draws a foul.
McCure got caught on the backside, couldn't check him out. What a great, you're the first one to know that you got an errant toss. And this is one of those deals with that zone. You get caught on that high side. Good pursuit by Martin.
Keelan Martin at the line. Been coming off the bench since February 7th. Misses the first. And since Martin has started coming off the bench, Butler, their bench has outscored opposing benches by 108 points in 7 games.
Yeah, pretty good free throw shooter, too, at 77.
Second one goes. 53-52 Xavier. The winner to advance to the semifinals of the Big East tournament. Martin with 15. Gooden on a curl.
Got to get a good angle to enter it.
Gooden driving, left hand scoop, no. Oh, what a rebound. Can't lay it in. Here's Baldwin now in transition. Tried to dribble through traffic and loses it. Nice pass ahead, Gooden. Up and in.
What a pass by Bernard from the backcourt. Sensational run out.
2 minutes to play, 55-52. Butler, the #2 seed. Remember, they have never won a game since entering the Big East in the tournament. The Big East tournament. Savage drives, hangs, and it drops.
How about that taking over? Open middle. Ability to attack.
55-54. Savage with 11. As Gooden, the true freshman, walks it up the floor. McCure. Can he make a good play today? Bluiett has made a ton. Stop and start and a foul on the baseline.
A little turned and froze the D. What a pretty play. And talking of pretty plays, look at this. On the money, the length of the floor, catchable, right in the pocket. 1-2, ring that bell. And the counter at the other end. You can notice nobody in the center spot there, choosing correctly the right side to attack. Savage.
Trevon Bluiett at the free throw line with 19 points. He's 7 of 8 from the stripe.
Nobody wants to go away and hide, huh?
Second free throw goes. 56-54. This kid's a great player, Coach. Trevon Bluiett.
Yeah, he is. He's a talent.
Savage. Driving again. Gets to the hole. Again!
How about this kid for taking over the quick timeout on the goal? Going the same direction with the exact same result.
And we are tied up at 56.
And right here, Fowler once again causes the traffic problem. A little kiss at the end. Some pretty solid play.
1:07 to go. Chris Mack knows he's in a battle. So here we go, folks. 1:07 to play in the second half. 56-56 as you take a look at the game reset. Butler has defeated Xavier twice this season. Hard to beat a team 3 times.
No question about it. But right now, where do you go? They're on the timeout. They've been talking about let's get it to the box, which means down low, where you can do some damage either individually or diving or kicking.
We've had 9 ties and 13 lead changes.
They did a lot of ISO for Bluiett as well.
Bluiett, Macura, O'Mara, Gooden, and Bernard. Here's Bluiett. And a foul.
Oh, he's hurt, isn't he? The way he went down.
Travis goes down awkwardly.
Yeah.
But I think he's more disappointed in fouling Trey Bluiett.
Well, I think he tried to get over there quickly to close out, and the change of direction caught him.
Bluiett 8 of 10 from the free throw line this evening. "21 points for the first team all Big East player, Trey Bluiett."
And not a bad move here. Get O'Mara a little blow. And get Jones in for some defensive power on the glass.
57-56 Xavier.
Oops.
He misses the second. Snatched down by Baldwin. Savage, Baldwin, Travis, Fowler, Keelan Martin.
They got a lot of guys on the perimeter who can dribble drive. Savage, we've seen twice back screen. He's going to try it again.
Savage driving again. Blocked this time by Bernard, but he's fouled.
He's hurt too. He is hurt. Savage staying down, feeling his back. Now this is one of those deals, you go right 3 times, somebody has to turn him. Right here, you can just see never getting in position to force it the other way.
Looks like he hit his tailbone.
Yeah, up. Now up top, there's no question, but you can see the body. He did hit it. Oh, he wants to shoot it though. He's up. He's up. Walking it off.
Chris Mack and the Xavier bench can't believe the call. It was a foul though. Savage over on the sideline.
Now I think they're asking Chris who he won. Now they're looking for the stats to find out who to, if he can't shoot, who on the floor he can request. And they're looking.
Well, all those guys on the floor right now, pretty decent free throw shooters. Fowler's a 77% free throw shooter. Martin's a 77% free throw shooter. Baldwin's at 81%. And now they're going to bring in Baldwin to shoot it.
No, he was in. They brought in Lewis.
Excuse me.
Right?
Baldwin will shoot the free throws. He's at 81%. 57-56.
Gotta make him coming down the stretch.
Pressure for this freshman. He needs this one. And he gets it.
There you go.
57-57, 38.6 to go. The winner to advance to the semifinals. And a timeout called by the X-Men.
They got one left, as does Butler.
Back for the finish right after this. Hi, I'm 57 up. 34.9 to play in the second half. The winner to advance to the semifinals. As you take a look at the game reset, Xavier and Butler. Butler, the #2 seed behind national champion Villanova in this tournament. Xavier, a #7. The Bulldogs have defeated the Musketeers twice this season.
And on the offensive end, we know they've gone to Bluiett quite a bit, giving him an opportunity in an ISO or a pin down situation. O'Mara back on the floor. They love to get it inside, let him bounce, attract some bodies, and either finish or find.
Or Trevon Bluiett has been the catalyst for the Xavier team all season and tonight as well. 21 points. He's been great at the free throw line. 9 of 12. Here's Gooden, the freshman.
Got the shooters in the corner, too.
8-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Gooden finds Bluiett. They want it in his hands. Bluiett drives, stops, fades. Trevon Bluiett. ball player. Here's Savage the other way, and he calls a timeout. 59-57, Xavier.
How about that step back? Got some early onions with his ability, and a tough match for Travis. You can see he just doesn't have the foot speed to cover. A little late help. I mind that big time knockdown. Talk about stepping up, coming down that crunch. Woo. And he had to elevate because there was some help in the area.
And Chris Mack knew that he had to give it to his best player. I mean, and this kid is so courageous. Coach Holtman wishes he could have kept him in Indiana.
No question about it.
I'm sure Tom Green would have liked him at Indiana. Mike Bray at Notre Dame.
Anybody coaching in that state.
How did this kid get out of the state? Bluiett, 17 in the second half, 2 nights in a row. And he's calm and cool. And remember, he's playing with the tenderest of ankles. It's been sidelining him most of the second half of the season, and he's fought his way through it.
And they've got to be ready now because the opposition has a great dribble drive group on the floor that can take their guy, and this is the danger too. If you get to the rim and you overhelp, you're able to get a kick 3. Not that you're looking for it. Go for the 2. And Travis is a guy going to inbound it, generally speaking, although he's not this time.
So they bring Baldwin, Travis, Keelan Martin.
McDermott's a good jump shooter. Guy taking it out is always dangerous.
Sean McDermott, a redshirt freshman from Anderson, Indiana. And you know if he's from Indiana, he could shoot a jumper.
Now you got Lewis who can shoot it.
They rise to their feet here at the Garden. 13.8 to go. Butler down by 2. Travis, the kick. Baldwin for the win. Off the heel. Loose. Lewis for the tie. No. Loose. Macura with the big rebound. He finally made a play today. Woo.
Boy, did they dodge one. Some great looks. And a nice kick for an open shot, which happens frequently because the defense overhelps. And Lewis, boy, did he have a spot-on jumper. And Macura, one of those guys, never packs the tack. And you could just see, Chris, how big that rebound was.
So Macura, an 81% free throw shooter. 1 of 2 from the line today. And he makes the first. 60-57. One more coming for Macura to make it a 2-possession game, barring a 4-point play. And we've seen those in this building. Just ask Indiana Pacers.
I was just going to say, not college. Reggie's not playing. Boy, this game was so important for Xavier. Let's face it. I mean, I think they were going to be in, but this sort of beating a team of this caliber, not that it's over, and as you mentioned, this free throw is the important one. There's so many things that can happen late in the game. Saw it with Northwestern a couple of weeks ago against Michigan, and of course, a few years ago, Grant Hill to Christian Laettner. And how about this emotion?
Christy Mack, Coach Mack's wife, a ball player in her own right at Dayton, scored over 1,200 points. Hall of Famer at Dayton.
Well, they had to remake themselves on the run, this team. It was painful, and yet they stuck with it.
So here's JP, who hasn't had his best game tonight. But this free throw could ice it. And he missed it. Trap, Fowler with the rebound, taken away. Jones, the slam at the buzzer. And Xavier.
I don't think it'll be good.
Shocks Butler, upsetting the number 2 seed, 62-57.
How impressive coming down the stretch. Trevon raising his level of play in the second half. Tough, gutty performance.
So the X-Men prevail. They finally beat Butler, and they beat him at the most important time in the Big East tournament, 62-57, led by their star, Trevon Bluiett.
Last play, I think this is late. This a little slap away, and I think before they go up,
I think it counts, Coach.
I think it does count. You're right. You are right. Unbelievable. Impressive, tough-minded, and the joy of knowing what they accomplished. Pretty special.
Bluiett with 23 points. Bernard, 12 points and 10 rebounds, a double-double. And let's go to Lisa Byington.
All right, first with Sean O'Mara. Sean, let me ask you about your teammate, Trevon Bluiett. What have you seen from him and the guts that he has taken, especially in the last two second halves of these last two games?
The best thing about Trey is that I've seen him do it before, so it's not news to us, even though it's more impressive every single time he does it. So I'm just glad to see him keep playing the way he always has been. It's been incredible to watch.
After dropping 6 straight games, you guys have now won the last 3. What is different about this basketball team?
I don't think anything's different. I think we just hit a tough stretch. You know, the Big East is a grind every single day. You see that in the first 2 games we've had here. So it's you know, it's a battle every night, and I think that we just got to come out on top a few more times than we would have liked. But you know, it's just a matter of staying with it.
Another double-digit game for you. What kind of impact did you feel like you can make tonight?
My impact is all about my teammates. I'm glad they can get me the ball. You know, after that, I'm 2 feet away from the hoop. I just got to go turn and put it in. So it's a matter of just, you know, playing together and being, you know, poised as we are on offense. So it's good.
All right, thank you for the time.
Yep.
Coach, how clutch is Trevon Bluiett?
Pretty clutch. You were the one telling me what you got to do to score yesterday. He's done it all year, you know, and that's why we put the ball in his hands. And you know, it's a little scary because you don't know how early you want to go, but it's not scary when he's got the ball and he has that aggressive mindset that he played with tonight.
17 points in the second half last night, 17 points again in the second half tonight. What is it about him? He's been your go-to all season long, but what is it about the last 2 games in the second half that he is kind of turning on?
Well, you know, I know it may not be what people get excited about, but I get excited about the fact that when he's not playing well in the first half, he tries to affect the game in other ways, and that's what really good players do. You know, if you're not shooting the ball well, can you rebound? Can you defend? Can you pass the ball? Can you inspire your teammates? And he's done that here the first 2 nights of the Big East tournament.
You guys lost 6 straight, and now you've won 3 in a row. What's different?
What's different? Well, Bluiett's healthy. You know, I know a lot of people have made a whole lot about Edmond Sumner being out, and they should. He's a terrific player. But we also lost Trevon Bluiett for 3 of those games, and that sort of gets overlooked. And, you know, besides that, I mean, he's practicing at 25% for the week after. But we got him back, and I love my team.
You live another day. Congrats. Rob Stone?
All right, Lisa, thank you. Back courtside with the man everybody was talking about, Trevon Bluiett, averaging 20 points a game in this year's edition of the Big East tournament. I want to flashback. 34.9 seconds left. We're tied at 57s. Timeout is called. What's the message in the timeout, and what's the play that was diagrammed?
Well, first he came over and told us just to take a deep breath. He told us, you know, this is what we live for. This is all fun. And that we're going to win this game. And if y'all believe it, then it's going to happen. And the play that he drew up was just kind of getting me on a little ISO around the elbow area and just making a play off that.
Was there any advocating that you wanted the ball, or did Coach Mack make that decision?
You know, I kind of think it was 50-50, but ultimately it was his decision, you know. So, you know, he decided to run with that.
What's 50-50?
You know, half me, you know, saying, come on, give me the ball, and then half Coach, you know, his decision.
Such an impressive win for a number of reasons, but what strikes me is the way, as a group, the players, the staff continue to improve in spite of the injuries, the suspensions. You guys have been through a lot of adversity, but it seems this new group, the latest group, playing together is hitting on all cylinders at just the right time. Why is that? What is it about this team that's allowed you to continue to move forward?
You know, I think that we're relentless, and I think, you know, we fight through adversity, and we've been fighting through that all season, and, you know, coaches told us to stay the right path, stay the course, and we never got distracted with any of those, and we stayed the course. We know what's ahead, and, you know, we had a group of tough guys, and that's what got us through.
First half, second half. Last night, struggled first half. took over the second half. Did it again tonight. What's going on there with the strong finishes?
I don't know. I get up to a slow start, but I never let that waver, my mentality. I still got to be there for my team, still got to step up and heat of the moment. So
I just got to ask you about the strip at the end there. Tremendous. You knew what was happening with them. They weren't going to call a timeout. Pretty gutsy play.
Yeah. Being down 3, they were going to call a timeout. So we were going to try to get a foul. That resulted in maybe a two-point play on free throw line or something like that. And then we just had to rebound at the end on their end. So we didn't want them to get a clean 3 off, and I think we did a good job at that.
Trevon, congratulations. We'll see you again tomorrow night. Xavier, they move on to the semifinals. They're going to take on the winner of our next game, Creighton and Providence. Go rest up. Go enjoy the last game of our quarterfinals tonight. Winner return. We'll get you caught up on the semifinal bracket, show you how Villanova accelerated into the semis again and how Angel Delgado and Seton Hall flexed their muscles over Wojo and Marquette. Nighttime in Manhattan. 3 down, 1 to go from the Big East tournament.